Hey everyone, I want to show you guys this 13-inch AR upper that I just finished, and I topped off with this Presma rail that I got from Optics Planet. So the rail and the barrel nut were $30, and it came with some plastic Picatinny, which I didn't end up using it, but it's nice that it's nice to have extra M-lock screws. I did mention this project, I think a week or so ago. I think back in like 2015, I got this 7.5 inch Radical Firearms AR-15. Okay, so it was a complete AR, complete AR pistol, 7.5 inches, and the issue I had with it is it always had like really bad accuracy, and it seemed to get even worse. I wasn't sure what the issue with that was until I decided that, hey, somebody gave me this 13-inch barrel, and I decided to basically break it down because I was going to install this barrel on that upper. And what I found when I took it apart is that it was like the barrel was never torqued. It was very loose, and it was the style barrel nut where the gas tube runs through the barrel nut. So it's impossible for it to ever have been properly torqued. Okay. Because they would have had, there was no barrel shimmers there, nothing. I mean, now this was back in like 2015. This is like I think it was like the fall, or maybe like August. I don't remember exactly, but that was the year that Hillary was going to win. And I was essentially buying the last AR-15 I thought I was ever going to buy. Basically, the companies were behind. They were like trying to throwing these things together, shipping them out as fast as they could because everybody was trying to buy their last AR-15. So in 2015, I mean, not just with this particular company, but lots of companies shipped out a lot of ARs with really bad quality control. Okay, so this was one of them. Barrel was never properly torqued. It was loose. And that's the reason why I was getting like 10 to 12 MOA. And again, I didn't discover it until I went to remove the barrel, right, the 7.5 inch barrel, and I saw that, hey, shit, this thing's like just, this thing's just sitting there kind of loose. So anyway, since I had the gun apart and I had this 13-inch barrel that somebody gave me, I said, hey, you know what? I have like two other 7.5 inch uppers, so let's turn this upper into a 13-inch and see how I like it. So what I didn't want to use the same barrel nut because it had the design where the gas tube runs through the barrel nut, and also the rail that I had was like this. It was just a very heavy rail. Even though it was short, it was just too heavy. I didn't like that rail. So I went on Optics Planet and I found this rail here that comes with the barrel nut and some barrel shims and some Picatinny rail, even though this is a metal one, right? The ones that they gave you were plastic. So I'm like, it was like either 29 or 30. It was just below $30. I'm like, you know what? This is a pretty good deal, and I really didn't want to spend too much money on this project because I didn't even know how I was going to like the 13-inch versus my 10-inch or versus my 16-inch. It took forever to get the parts in. It's time of end of the year, so I finally got all the parts in last night that I needed because I had to order the gas tube, I had to order the gas block. So all this stuff came like on different dates. The muzzle device here, the linear comp. I'll show you guys the front. That I had. That was sitting in the drawer for a couple of years. I finally made use of it. Yeah, I mean, here it is. I did actually shoot it, just to, like when I shot it, it didn't even have the optic on it. I just wanted to make sure that the gas tube positioning was good. I brought it back inside, and then what I did is I put some like Loctite on it. You gotta use the rock set. You gotta use like one that's meant for for things that get hot, because the gas block gets hot. So I use the rock set. Now with this rail here, you still have to time it though, because of the way this rail attaches to the barrel nut. with the screw. So what happens is if you don't time it, the top side is going to be sitting crooked. Okay, so you still have to time it. They give you like 3 barrel shims. I ended up not using them at all. I did try them to see where I would end up. So the way this worked out best is with no barrel shims. I mean, now as far as torquing down the barrel, okay, I do have a torque wrench. Now none of the armoring wrench. I have 2 armoring wrenches. Neither one of them fit this barrel nut perfectly. So I ended up just using a regular adjustable wrench, a fairly short one. I have a barrel extension vise. So I have the Magpul barrel extension vise. So I locked the upper in there, and essentially, here's the thing. I mean, the torque specifications are a very wide range. It's like 30 to 80 pounds. Okay, so 80 pounds is like what you torque the tire on, a car with, right? Like when you're putting your tires on your car, that's what you use, 80 pounds. So that's all, and that's usually with a pretty long bar. So that's a lot of torque, So holding the vise with one hand, right? Because it was actually it wasn't bolted down, and then torquing it with the other hand, I kind of concluded that, hey, I can get over 30 pounds pretty easy. Getting over 80 pounds is not going to likely happen. With this setup, I just didn't think I had the leverage for it. So that's what I went with. Okay, so I ended up not using the torque wrench that I have that I bought specifically for this project and a different one. The armoring wrenches just didn't match up to the barrel nut, so I had to kind of wing it. So there is the scope. I haven't zeroed the scope in yet, or the red dot rather. That's the Howson. What are you? 503 CU. So that's the circle dot. It's nice and light, so that's a nice matchup to this 13-inch. Okay, I did shoot it initially without the linear comp. It was pretty loud, like louder than your standard AR-15. So then I put this on there. Like I just screwed it on there without using the crush washer, like just to kind of experiment and see how it sounded. So with this linear comp, it sounds like a normal AR-15. So that's why I'm going with it, and it's only like half an inch longer than your standard birdcage. So that's not, I'm not giving up a whole lot there. So yeah, probably I'm going to let this sit overnight so that the Loctite, the rock set rather, that I put on the gas block Allen screws has a chance to set, and maybe tomorrow or the next day I'll do a video. I'll do a video where I'm actually shooting this for you guys. Okay, so drop some comments. Let me know what you guys think. I'll talk to you all soon. But yeah, I also wanted to, one of the reasons why I did the videos, I also wanted to talk about this Presma rail here, which, it comes with a barrel nut, a pretty good deal. And here's the thing, if you're buying a rail, try to get one that comes with the barrel nut, because you don't want to buy a rail and then it doesn't fit your barrel nut, and then it's like, okay, what am I going to do with this? I prefer the ones that pinch on the bottom here, because you don't have to tighten those. You just, once you get your barrel nut on there, however the barrel nut lands, you just pinch it down over here with the screws, and it's set. This one I actually had to time, because these screws needed to end up like in the proper position so that the top rail over here would end up in the proper position. Oh, another thing worth mentioning, SB4 brace. Don't get the SB3. I've actually broken one of those. They're garbage. If you use it enough, they're gonna rip in the back. This SB4 is pretty solid. I know they got an SB5 out there, but this SB4 is a really solid one. And I know we're kind of, we're done with the ATF, I think, at this point, as far as pistol brace rules. I mean, I think they've solidly had lost or going to lose, because I expect that Dettelbach is going to be resigning out of the ATF pretty soon. Hey everyone, I want to make one other point. If you look at the optic, you'll see that I've pushed it up a little bit rather than center over the ejection port. The reason for that is because the pistol length buffer tube is a little bit shorter. So by pushing it up a little bit more, It sits a little bit more comfortably, especially if I put a magnifier behind the optic. And I've had both my 7.5 inch and my 10 inch out to 500 yards. Posted a video, got pretty good hits at that distance with the magnifier. I think I was using a 6x, Vortex 6x when I did it. So this 13-inch barrel will definitely do well at 500 yards.